Alright, so you've already preloaded, but my students don't know how to do this part, so I'm going to share this part really quick. You're going to take the syringe. This is the animal feeding syringe. You're going to pull the back off. You're going to load your Vaseline on the back end of the syringe, and then you reinsert the syringe and it pushes the Vaseline to the front, okay? And then when you squeeze out, as you see here, it squeezes out. So my students, these syringes, you're able to get these like when you buy Tylenol for little kids, or you can get them at a pharmacy, okay? So these are already preloaded though. You've already done that part, so thank you. And let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with the latex. Now I'm not going to go through the explanation for my Cosmo kids. You guys worked with latex already, and then the CJ already had this lesson last class period. So just go through the motions, okay? All right, let's go ahead and take our palm. And we're going to pick up latex, and you're going to put the first film down. And you're creating the shape. Now you can add texture by, again, letting the latex dry a little bit and moving your finger over the top. You're going to let that dry a little bit, waving your hand over their palm. So go ahead and begin the application. CJ is going to be doing it on cosmetology. Yeah, CJ, you guys are going to do it on them. CJ is doing it on Cosmo. Yep. Okay, we're going to let that dry a little bit. Then we're going to come in and do our second layer. And we want to make sure that we cannot see the skin through the latex. On the edges, if you notice when you did your makeup job this last class period, it was very noticeable where the latex started and where it stopped. A layer of foundation will help blend that in. And if you have a nice even application of latex on the edges, that will also help diminish that line of demarcation. This is going to be the part that's going to take the longest to dry, so we're going to just let that dry. Now, CJ students, if you want, while this is drying, if you want to flip their palm over and do the road rash here, if you want to start that, you're more than welcome to. Lay latex down and then lay the coffee grounds down. If you rather not, that's okay as well. We're just waiting for this latex to dry. As it's drying, my students, if you just want to wave your hand, unless if they're doing the road rash on the back, then they're working on that. Remember that when you touch the latex, if it comes off on your finger, it's still wet. When you touch it and it does not come off, it's dry. We are waiting for it to dry so that way we can puncture the hole in the middle and insert the Vaseline. Dr. Ryan is coming around taking pictures, so make sure you look cute. Coming around taking pictures, so make sure they look cute. Now, latex, where can you buy latex? Latex, you can buy it on Amazon. Latex does come in these containers right here that you can get off of Amazon for about $8 or $9. You can buy a big old bucket, a gallon bucket of it. There are different brands, okay? If your model or client has allergies, you just want to make sure that they let you know. Instead of latex, you can use silicone. Okay, so that's another option. You can also, if you don't have latex, you can use Elmer's glue. It takes longer to dry and it doesn't work as well, but you are able to recreate the same look or the same technique with the Elmer's glue. Okay? Now, color, and I'm going to go through the color because my students have not heard this one yet or have used the color before. Maron is one of the makeup brands that professionals use. If you watch the YouTube videos, the Walking Dead, they've used this brand before. Okay, I've seen it on their little clip. So this is a bruise wheel. So the bruise wheel has the different colors, as Dr. Ryan said, the different stages of the bruise. So you are able to use these colors. You do have these colors on your tabletop that they're going to be doing the paint job with here in a little bit. And the coffee, guys, the coffee grounds, which I don't have up here, I threw my little piece away, but you have a little bit of coffee grounds. That's a coffee bean that's ground up. That is to create road rash. So like if you fall and you skid your knees, okay, you have the concrete scratches on your knees or the bottom of the palm of your hand when you kind of landed on it. You definitely want to just be aware. You can also use little bits and pieces of grass, hay, dirt, actual dirt, concrete little pieces of rock. If you actually want to make it look more realistic, like you actually fell on the ground. So you can stick that onto the latex. But that is just to replicate that you fell and have road rash. Like a really bad motorcycle accident, right? Once it dries on the middle, you want to, and even if it's not dry, if you just tap the middle, you'll help it dry. But you want to peel or pick or create a hole in the middle. And once you do it and you peel and you pull a little bit, you create a little pocket, a bubble. If it's not cutting, you can just cut a hole with your scissors. Now the latex will stick to itself if you don't powder it. So just cut a hole. Make sure you have a hole there. Once you have your hole, then you're welcome to go ahead and insert with your syringe. You're going to insert the syringe and you're going to squeeze. Now if the syringe is pretty much full, it's a little bit hard to actually squeeze, so you might want to help each other. And you want to go around the wound and you're squeezing the Vaseline inside the wound. Now, Vaseline is clear, but again, if you wanted to do like a pus, you want to add white and yellow to paint or pigment to your Vaseline. Let's say you don't have those paints and you have eyeshadow. If you have yellow and white eyeshadow, just take scrape some powder off of the eyeshadow palette and then mix it in with your Vaseline, stir it really good, and you get that pus color. You can also add that to your paint job as well. So you're going to insert the Vaseline, turn your wound around, turn the opening, the hand around. As you're inserting, you're going to see that the bubble of the blister is going to grow. And you want it to grow. You want it to be a 3D effect. How much ever little or lot of Vaseline you want to use is totally up to you. Okay? You want to make sure to keep the Vaseline inside of the wound. You don't want to let it exit the wound, the blister spot. Okay? At the end, when you're done inserting all of the Vaseline, just kind of take your finger and clean up the entrance of that hole. You're going to take a little bit of latex and you're going to cover that hole so that it blends in with the rest of the latex. And you can smooth over a little bit of latex, maybe on the edges if it kind of spewed out of the edges. The Vaseline and the latex are not friends, and that does not stick. So you have to have a good little amount of latex on there. Always making sure to do a roly-poly with your finger like you have a wet booger so you can get that latex off of you. Once you insert your Vaseline and you have covered it with a little bit of latex and that latex dries, you can go ahead and place your sponges over your pigment, load your sponges with color, and do your color job, your paint job. We're going to come around and check out your work. Please do not forget to take any pictures.